when it comes to the nature. Right now, it's like the nature of cancer, the nature of the disease. And I mean, that just sounds horrific. So of course, then it becomes this vicious cycle of like, oh my God, as soon as I get a tumor or cancer, there's fear around, there's so much fear around it, rather than looking at it as like, okay, this has happened in my life. Now, what can I do to heal this? What can I do to get to the root of it? What subconscious belief is creating this physical symptom in my body?
Welcome to the Life is a Healing Journey podcast by yours truly, Anuschka, with a C. This podcast explores how you can create a true healthy lifestyle and live your life to the fullest in the face of any circumstance by healing and balancing your mind, body, spirit. If you are someone that's been dealing with disharmony in any area of your life and you are committed to seeking harmony, this podcast is for you. Let's start healing.
I am coming on, trying out new hairstyles. Yes, you can still see my little hole and surgery area, but I don't care because you know what? This is my scar of survival, rebirth, and all that fun stuff. Anyhow, that is not what we're talking about today. Today is Wednesday, Wisdom and Wellness, and I wanted to hop on here and actually talk about something that has been on my mind for a while, and that is cancer in movies. I call myself a cancer thriver, not survivor, because I really see that cancer was a gift for me. And obviously, I'm very compassionate there are many that have lost their lives to cancer, and I'm compassionate around that. And that's why I do the work that I do, because I do believe that people can heal from anything, including cancer and tumors and all these diseases that when you look at movies are portrayed as pretty much cancer equals death. I'm sure many have seen movies out there, and almost every single, I don't know, if not every single movie and show that I've seen, maybe like one show I've seen that actually showed a survivor from it. But for the most part, when you look at these movies, it really shows cancer as death. And it just has every horrible story you can imagine portrayed in these movies, and there isn't enough success stories. And that's something that I really would love to shift and make, I don't know. And that's why I'm coming on here, because am I the one to do it? Who knows? Anyhow, that's really what I would like. As a cancer survivor, I want to see more success stories. And whether that's on websites, whether that's in movies, wherever that is, I want to see more of the survival stories. I want to see more of the success stories. And I know that Heal documentary and Radical Remission, and I believe there's like The Truth About Cancer, and there's different ones out there that are starting to speak more about the success stories, the ones that do survive, the ones that thrive, and the ones that actually have a rebirth through the process. And that to me would make such a big difference when it comes to the nature. Right now, it's like the nature of cancer, the nature of the disease. And I mean, that just sounds horrific. So of course, then it becomes this vicious cycle of like, oh my God, as soon as I get a tumor or cancer, there's fear around, there's so much fear around it, rather than looking at it as like, okay, this has happened in my life. Now, what can I do to heal this? What can I do to get to the root of it? What subconscious belief is creating this physical symptom in my body? Not to say there isn't fear. I definitely experienced fear earlier this year with the scare that we had. I definitely experienced it. There is fear around it because you just go into like, oh my God, I don't know, and blah, blah, blah. But imagine if there were more success stories out there. Then it would be more like, I mean, and not to, this is literally intentional, but what if it looked like, oh, you get cancer and it could be like getting a cold, rather than, oh, you get cancer and oh my God, let's throw all the fear out and you're going to die. because that's the story that's being told over and over. I even remember going to one of Ashkan's doctors at one point, and I remember we were sitting there, and it was, it was for him, and somehow or another it came up that I started speaking about what I went through. I started speaking about my journey, and that I had glioblastoma, and it was stage 4 and all the things. And I mean, literally he was thrown back in his chair. Like he went flying back. And to me, he was just like, it was unbelievable for him to see me standing there or sitting there or whatever I was doing, because for him in his head, it's like, oh, you get GBM, you're going to die. And that's what keeps getting told over and over again to these, I hate to use this, but these poor people that don't know any better are being told that, oh, if this is the type of tumor you have, you're pretty much have 0 survival rate. And I don't believe that. And I know many people that actually are out there and making the difference and surviving tumors. Like I always share about Anita Morjani's story, because she had a near-death experience that she speaks about, and it was absolutely amazing. She had countless tumors throughout her body, countless, and she went into a coma. And she even describes it as she died and came back. And all of a sudden, because of the subconscious the near-death experience she had, she somehow or another was able to heal the subconscious root, the root of whatever it was that was creating these tumors. And then somehow or another, I don't even think she ended up doing any Western medicine treatment or anything, but somehow within weeks, maybe like even a couple months, but I feel like it was really quickly, these tumors started dissipating because she started healing the root cause of it. So it's like, I want to share more of that out there with people, because I get it. Before I had cancer or tumor, you would mention that to me, and I would look at it as like, oh my God, that's pretty scary. Like, what causes that? Not knowing that it is always, there's a subconscious root of it. There's a root there's like something that happens, whether it's this lifetime or past lifetimes, that needs to be discovered. It's the subconscious healing needs to happen. Our energetic side needs to get healed in order to be able to not have a reoccurrence. And obviously it's not just that one piece. You want to also look at, what is it that you're putting in your body? What foods are you eating? Are you adding and contributing to the cancer, tumor, or any physical symptom, really, because that can cause even more issues. But I'm not going to go down that road. I really just wanted to come on because so many movies that I've watched recently, I feel like it's like cancer, and then it just has like such a, like, oh my gosh, it's just like you can feel, and I'm an empath, so I can feel the energy of it, of the actual movie or show. And it's just so sad to see that every single one is portraying cancer as death. And that is not the case. There are many survivors out there. You just got to look for them. You got to look for those that are having success stories. I know there's plenty of Instagrammers out there that they look at cancer as a gift. They really do, because it saved their life in one way or another. I believe there's someone out there that's called Cancer Saved My Life. And there's so many other stories out there. And for a reason of Hollywood, we seem to dwell on the unsuccessful stories, which then creates a vicious cycle. So I wanted to come on and just open people's minds up, disrupt that, because the whole thing around it is it can go a different way. There are so many possibilities out there, and one of them may be death, but there could also be a rebirth, like it was for me and so many other people. Look up different sites and check out like on the sites out there, the different success stories. And when you see the whole portrayal of cancer as death, totally have the compassion, but also know that there's also the other side of it. You can be a thriver from it. And it's something that at one point or another in my life, I will be getting cancer thrivers together somehow on a stage, because I believe that these thriving stories must be shared with more people in order to open that up for people and not continue that vicious cycle of death. That cancer equals death, cancer equals death, because that's something that I definitely want to break as a pattern. And I will continue to put that out there. And I'm sure there's going to be people judging me, especially like with Western medicine. And I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of crap from it. And I don't care, because I still can see the difference I make when I work with those that are dealing with cancers and tumors and different physical symptoms, and seeing how they can actually heal through that, and seeing the difference and impact it makes, going from being hopeless to all of a sudden having this hope and having faith that everything is always working out for your highest good. I mean, I know several now that I'm like noticing the shift just in the months that I've worked with them. And so I know it's possible. I know it's possible for many. There are those that unfortunately may catch it too late and it just takes over. And I just heard a recent story, and I mean, it's really sad when it does happen, but it's like, it's not the only path. So that's really what I wanted to come on and share. So just have an open mind. I know that's what gets portrayed in all the movies out there. It's like, I think I've seen, like I said, one show out of all these movies and shows where there was like a survival story around it, which was beautiful. And like, I think about it and it just made me want to cry. Anyhow, that's pretty much it. I wanted to hop on because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. And if you know someone, or if you yourself want to take your health and well-being to that next level, you can definitely message me and have a discovery session. Even from that discovery session, you're going to get something newly. You're going to get something to work on for yourself to get to that next level. And you can also check out my bio, because I have the link in my bio and on Facebook as well, that have links that will take you over to the Radical Remission profile, where there are so many other success stories. It's just that they're not it's not the easiest way of getting to them. So you Google, for instance, glioblastoma. This is one thing I'll tell you. I did not do any research or Googled anything about glioblastoma when I was going through my entire healing journey, because every time that I even thought to do it, I just knew there was just so much negativity out there. Now, because of where I'm at now, I've Googled it, and I'm not joking you. Every single one is like, this is the worst thing that you can ever have, and you're going to definitely die. Like it's like pretty much that's just the culture, and that's what's being said consistently. And I don't believe that. And I know others that have surpassed many, many years. I know a lady, she's amazing. I've been on her podcast twice now, and she's like at this point 30 plus years beyond, and she never had a reoccurrence, but it's like 30 plus years beyond what they said that her prognosis was. Like, I don't believe in prognoses. We cannot tell people what their predictable lifespan is. Like, we cannot give that life sentence to someone. That doesn't even make sense. Like, we're individuals. How does that make sense? Like, we can do something about it. We just have to choose, and we have to balance mind, body, spirit. That's really what it comes down to. So that said,
thank you for listening to Life is a Healing Journey podcast. You are here to peel and heal one layer at a time, to live your life to the fullest in the face of any circumstance, while embracing a life filled with love, joy, and peace. If you are in disharmony in any area of your life and truly desire to be in harmony and committed to elevating your health and well-being, I'm one click away. Find me at healingwithanuschka.com. And remember, that's Anuschka with a C. And if you like what you heard, please subscribe and share this podcast with your loved ones. Get your healing on. Until next time.
you.